John Daly's career wasn't just defined by his monster drives or the two major championships that cemented his legendary status. It was shaped by four powerful relationships that revealed who he truly was in professional golf. Some of these began as fierce rivalries, others blossomed into surprising friendships, and one, notably, never healed. Daly, born on April 28, 1966, stormed onto the golf scene with his 1991 PGA Championship win. An ultimate underdog story, he was the ninth alternate who only got in at the last minute and walked away with the trophy as if it were destiny. With his booming drives, working-class confidence, and disregard for golf's polished country club image, Daly stood out like no one before him. He followed that triumph with his 1995 Open Championship victory, sealing his place in golf history. But that was only half the story. The other half lay buried in a 456-page PGA Tour disciplinary file documenting his tumultuous journey from 1991 to 2008, which came to light after a lawsuit he filed. The file revealed 5 suspensions, 7 orders for counseling or rehab, 21 warnings for not giving his best effort, 11 citations for unprofessional behavior, 6 rounds of probation, and nearly $100,000 in fines. It even recorded the infamous 1994 clash with Jeff Roth, which cost Daly $20,000 and ended his season early. But the disciplinary file didn't just list warnings, it chronicled jaw-dropping moments of unpredictability, including property damage, reckless stunts, and wild incidents that made headlines. Among the most notorious, he received a $20,000 fine for launching golf balls over spectators' heads during a 1993 exhibition, and there were even reports of him teeing off a ball perched on a beer can handed to him by singer Kid Rock. John Daly wasn't merely a golfer, he was a force of chaos, a storm the sport hadn't anticipated. John Daly's career was marked by a streak of rebellion that left fans and officials alike unsure whether he was deliberately defying golf's uptight image or simply doing things his own way. He walked out of tournaments mid-round, missed tee times, and even showed up shirtless and barefoot at a course opening, making it clear he played by no one else's rules. Perhaps most striking were the 21 official citations for failing to give his best effort actions that went beyond attitude or anger, reflecting quitting, visible frustration, and even running up an 18 on a single hole at Bay Hill, a moment that clashed with the blue-collar hero image fans adored. Daly's turbulence extended off the course, as he openly admitted losing between $55 and $57 million over 15 years to gambling, illustrating the depth of his personal struggles. These professional and financial troubles shared a common root in a self-destructive streak that shadowed his career from the beginning. A defining early moment occurred during his rookie season in 1991 at the Bell South Classic in Atlanta, where a crowded putting green set the stage for his clashes with golf's old guard. While practicing 6-foot putts, Daly repeatedly tapped back another player's ball, only to be confronted by Curtis Strange, a 2-time US Open champion, who told him, "You do not putt when a veteran is putting. You're a rookie. Step away and let me do my thing, because I've won 2 US Opens." Daly didn't flinch, responding sharply, noting the chaos around them. With only 6 holes and roughly 50 players on the green, the space simply didn't allow for such deference. That moment encapsulated the tension that would define his career. A fierce independence clashing with the traditions of golf, setting the stage for the wild, unpredictable legend he would become. That tense exchange with Curtis Strange set the tone for a career defined by raw talent, rebellion, and a refusal to bow to golf's traditions. John Daly never held back then, now, or ever. When Strange tried to assert his veteran status, Daly's response was fiery and unforgettable. He told him straight, "I'm a redneck from Arkansas, and I'm going to keep putting at this hole. The second thing that's going to happen is I'm going to take your body and break it into 6 pieces, so you'll never win a 3rd US Open. So get out of my way so I can work on my game." That moment captured everything Daly stood for. He wouldn't be pushed around, no matter who stood in his path. Strange walked away, likely realizing he was facing someone who ignored golf's unspoken pecking order, and the tension never faded. Decades later, when golfer Lee Westwood asked Daly which player he would least want on a golf trip, Daly didn't hesitate. "That's the only golfer I've ever hated. Just full stop. Hate him. I hate him. Don't get me started. Biggest ever." His words, spoken in front of family and friends, reflected a grudge that endured over 30 years. This clash, occurring just 4 months before Daly's breakout 1991 PGA Championship victory, proved that his rebellious streak wasn't a post-fame affectation, it was innate. The putting green standoff wasn't simply about etiquette. For Daly, it was about pride, respect, and asserting his place in a world that often tried to dictate where he belonged. The battlefield on the greens extended far beyond Curtis Strange. Strange symbolized golf's elite establishment, the polished country club tradition where titles and decorum ruled, while John Daly stood for the working-class outsider, the man who ignored fancy codes and silent hierarchies. That contrast fueled a rivalry that never cooled, decades later still burning with resentment. As Strange represented the world Daly had been shut out from. Daly wore his anger like a badge of pride. It was part of his identity. The same fire that drove him to stand his ground on that crowded rookie-year putting green. His outsider status was reinforced in other ways too. Despite winning 2 major championships, Daly was never selected for the Ryder Cup, a snub that hit hardest in 2006 when US captain Tom Lehman passed him over in favor of more conventional players like Stuart Sink and Scott Verplank, citing a preference for those who could put the ball in play and chip and putt. To Daly, it was a coded dismissal of his fearless, grip it and rip it style, a message that no matter his accomplishments, he didn't fit the establishment's mold. When the US team was crushed by Europe 18-1/2, 9-1/2 at the K Club that year, Daly saw poetic justice, a validation of his belief that conformity, not talent, ruled the sport's inner circles. The rejection stung because the Ryder Cup isn't just another tournament. It's the ultimate honor in team golf, a chance to represent one's country, and being excluded sent the clear signal: you don't belong with us. Yet while his clashes with golf's hierarchy were personal, his dynamic with Tiger Woods highlighted a different kind of philosophical divide. At the 2019 PGA Championship at Bethpage Black, Daly, battling osteoarthritis and other serious health issues, received a medical exemption to use a golf cart. When reporters asked Woods about it, he remarked that he had walked with a broken leg during the 2008 US Open, framing Daly's decision as a breach of the toughness code. To Woods, the cart symbolized weakness. To Daly, it was a practical necessity in a body already worn down by diabetes, joint problems, and hip issues. That moment underscored the fundamental gap between Daly's raw, human approach to the game and Tiger's disciplined, almost heroic, ideal, a clash of worlds as much as of players. John Daly's clash with Tiger Woods revealed a philosophical divide as much as a personal one. Daly's health struggles, including osteoarthritis, diabetes, and hip issues, were often misunderstood, as when Woods criticized his use of a golf cart at the 2019 PGA Championship. To Woods, it symbolized weakness. To Daly, it was a necessary adaptation to a body pushed to its limits. Daly has admitted he's built differently, relying on instinct, rhythm, and feel rather than the meticulous discipline Tiger epitomizes. Despite their differences, the tension between them eventually resolved. Woods later apologized over dinner at a PNC championship, and Daly was among the first to reach out after Woods' 2021 car accident, showing a mutual respect rooted in recognition of each other's contrasting approaches. Tiger's precision and discipline versus Daly's raw, instinctive talent. This duality reflects a generational shift in golf from the free-spirited, natural game Daly represents to the hyper-focused, athletic modern era led by Woods. Daly's story is also defined by deep friendships, particularly with David Feherty, who became his closest ally and interpreter of his chaos. Their connection began in 1990 on the Sunshine Tour, when Daly narrowly beat Feherty in a charity event and turned that rivalry into friendship with an open invitation to celebrate together. Feherty, a broadcaster and fellow outsider, understood Daly's vulnerabilities and helped shape his public image, presenting his impulsive behavior as charm rather than scandal. Together, they celebrated Daly's talent and resilience, transforming his off-course chaos into a narrative fans could root for. Daly's career, seen through these 4 pivotal relationships: Curtis Strange, who ignited his fiery independence; Tom Lehman, whose rejection fueled his outsider identity; Tiger Woods, who challenged his philosophy; and David Feherty, who humanized and championed him, reveals a man far larger than his statistics. He wasn't just a golfer, he was a walking contradiction. Wild yet gifted, fearless yet flawed, adored by fans, but often shunned by golf's elite. Daly's legacy isn't measured solely in trophies, but in the battles he fought, the people who doubted him, and the few who truly understood him. Even at 59, he remains one of golf's most fascinating, unpredictable, and human stories, a living legend whose journey continues to captivate.